Hi, this is Dr. Jones again. This is just a little bit of a treatise, I guess, a little mini lecture on purpose of learning and on discerning things as opposed to just taking things for granted. So, let me start off with a story. Once upon a time, there were three men. They were very tired after having worked many, many hours, and they found themselves at a hotel. It doesn't matter the name of the hotel, just a hotel. And they wanted to get a room, and they had enough money to pool together to get one room. They couldn't get separate ones, but they knew they could put all their cash together and go find a spot, and they could just collapse before they had to go back and work again another 10-hour day the next day. Well, the desk clerk looked at the three guys and he said, "Guys, you just want one room, and one room is all I got. And that room is going to cost you $30, $10 a piece. Each guy would have to pay $10, and that's total of 30. So 3 times $10 equals $30. And that's what you got to pay for your room tonight." The guys say, "Awesome." And they each pull out a $10 bill, give it to the desk clerk. He gives them the key. They go up, and they collapse on the floor, and they get into a deep sleep. Well, about 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 a.m., the desk clerk, and doing the overnight desk clerk, realizes that the earlier desk clerk had made a mistake. He charged him the one person per room price instead of the 3-person room. And the 3-person room, 3 people, one room, is only $25, not $30 like he had forced him to pay. So he called over the bellhop, Joe the bellhop, and he said, "Joe, I need you to go up and take $5 change to the 3 guys in room 103. Now, the bellhop's not a dumb kid. He knows that there is no way that he's going to be able to give $5 to 3 guys and have it turn out to be even. I mean, we can look at it and we can see that that's going to be $1 and 2/3 of a dollar for each guy. 1 2/3 dollar for each guy. And that just doesn't make it easy. How do you split up the 2/3 dollars? Doesn't make sense. That's the same thing as saying, well, I'm going to give each person $1.6666666666666 all the way down to 7 because we got to round it off at a point. It just doesn't make sense. So what does he do? Well, he takes the $5 and he goes, "Hey, I know what I can do. I'm going to give each man $1. And that times 3 guys is $3. And I'll keep the tip of $2. That's 3 plus 2. That's $5. That's what the guy gave me. He gave me the $5 extra from the 25. And so I'll keep the $2. That's a tip for me, and I didn't even have to do anything but take him some money." So, let's review this thing. Each man gave a beginning rent, sorry about that, of $10. He had a rebate of $1. That means his room rent for the night was $9. So 3 guys times $9 is $27. The tip is $2. That makes a total of $29. Wait a minute. How can it be $29 when we started off with $30? Where did the missing dollar? Where did that missing dollar go? We are short $1. Well, now, if you think about this problem, you go, but that can't be right. Because they paid $25, plus each man got $3 back, plus there's a $2 tip. That's your $30, right? Well, that's true. But it's also true that 3 men paid $9 each. That's $27, and the bellhop got 2, and that's $29. How can both of those arithmetical problems be the truth? It doesn't make sense to me. Here's why it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because we're looking at the problem all wrong. There is a certain amount of money. There was $30 that was being exchanged here, and 25 of that did go for rent. $3 was rebated to the guys, and $2 was a tip, and that is $30. Where does the 27 come in? That's because the guys paid $25 in rent plus a $2 tip, and that's, pardon me, that's where your 27 is. See, each man paid 3 times 9 for the 27. They each paid, pardon me, each one of them paid 25/3 of the rent. That is $8 1/3. And each one of them paid 2/3 of the tip. So there's your 2/3. That means each man paid $9. And the other $3, well, that was just back in their pocket. That's what I'm talking about discerning. When somebody gives you a problem, and one part of it adds up, and one part of it adds up, but together they don't seem to add up, you're looking at it wrong. And you need to re-look at what's going on in the problem and see for yourself, think for yourself about all that data. That's what learning is all about, folks. Going to college is not about memorizing facts and figures. Going to college is learning how to think for yourself, to reason, and come out with as best an answer as you can get. And it's not necessarily a perfect answer, and it may not always be the right answer, but if you've done your job correctly, you will come out with the best one that you can. If you want more information on this problem and how I got to the answer I got to, go to Snopes.com and find the page Check Some Error. Take care. Enjoy. Thanks for listening.